High value is not determined by what others see in you. It is the revelation of what the manufacturer already deposited inside you before you took your first breath. Let me submit to you today that the entire conversation around becoming a high-value woman has been hijacked by culture, distorted by religion, and corrupted by a marketplace that profits from your confusion. They've told you that high value is something you achieve through external modification, the right appearance, the right behavior, the right performance, the right strategy to attract, the right technique to maintain, the right formula to keep. But I'm here to interrupt that deception with kingdom truth. You cannot become what you already are by divine design. The question is not how to become high value. The question is how to remember, how to recover, how to reveal the high value that heaven already established as your original specification when the manufacturer conceived you in the mind of God before the foundation of the world. I need you to understand something that will completely shift your paradigm and transform the way you see yourself for the rest of your life. The manufacturer never creates without assigning specific value. This is a non-negotiable principle of creation. When an automobile manufacturer builds a vehicle, they don't build it first and then sit around a conference table wondering what it might be worth. The value is determined before the first component is assembled, before the first piece of metal is shaped, before the prototype is even drawn. The price tag, the classification, the market position, the purpose, all of it is established in the design phase, not the production phase. You are not a random assembly of cells hoping to discover your worth through trial and error. You are a precision designed solution with predetermined value, and that value was set by your manufacturer, not by market conditions, not by cultural trends, not by the opinions of people who don't even understand their own purpose, and certainly not by men who are still trying to figure out their own assignment. But here's what happened. Somewhere between your original design and your current condition, you started listening to voices that had no authority to appraise you. You began accepting valuations from people who don't have the credentials to assess your worth. Let me give you an analogy that will make this clear. If you wanted to know the value of a diamond, would you ask a plumber? If you wanted to authenticate a Rembrandt painting, would you consult a mechanic? If you wanted to determine the worth of a rare manuscript, would you bring it to a fast food worker? Of course not. You would take it to an expert. You would take it to someone who has studied that particular field, who understands the intricacies of value, who can recognize quality when they see it. Then why have you been taking identity assessments from people who are just as confused about their own purpose as you once were about yours? Why are you letting people who don't know their own value determine yours? The only one qualified to determine your value is the one who manufactured you, and he already made his declaration before the foundation of the world. He already set your worth in the courts of heaven before you ever showed up on earth. Now let me expose some lies that have been keeping you trapped in low-value thinking when you were designed for high-value living. These lies are sophisticated. They sound reasonable. They're repeated so often they feel like truth, but they are poison to your destiny. The first lie is this: I become high value when I meet certain standards. Wrong, completely wrong. You don't meet standards to gain value. You were created with value, and now you're discovering the standards that already exist in your design. See, the world has it backwards. They tell you to perform to earn worth, but kingdom economics says you perform from your worth, not for your worth. A king's daughter doesn't do chores to become royalty. She does assignments because she's already royal. Her actions flow from her identity, not toward it. Your actions should be the overflow of your identity, not the payment for your identity. This distinction will revolutionize your life. The second lie: high value means being wanted by high value men. Let me challenge that thinking because it's one of the most dangerous deceptions floating around right now. Your value is not determined by who wants you. Your value is determined by who made you. A Lamborghini doesn't become valuable because a wealthy person wants to buy it. It's valuable because of the manufacturer's design, the precision engineering, the quality of materials, the purpose for which it was created, the specifications that went into its production. Then, because of its inherent value, because of what it is, the right buyer recognizes it and is willing to pay the established price. You've been trying to increase your value to attract the right person when you should be revealing your existing value so the right person can recognize what heaven already established. Do you see the difference? One approach is begging for validation. The other is waiting for recognition. One is modification. The other is revelation. One makes you a project. The other maintains you as a masterpiece. Third lie, and this one is crucial: I need to fix myself to become high value. No, you need to remember yourself. There's a massive difference between fixing and remembering. When a computer malfunctions, you don't fix it by adding new hardware. You don't install random programs hoping something works. You restore it to factory settings. You return it to its original programming. its original operating system, the way the manufacturer designed it to function. Right now, you're running corrupted software lies you downloaded from culture, wounds you accepted as identity, limitations you inherited from broken people, toxic beliefs you absorbed from dysfunctional relationships. But underneath all that corrupted data is your original operating system, the manufacturer's design, the heaven-authored specifications. And high-value women don't spend their lives trying to become something new. They spend their energy recovering something original. They're not building. They're excavating. They're not creating. They're revealing. Fourth lie, and I need you to hear this. My past disqualifies me from high value. Listen carefully. Your past was not a disqualification. It was a preparation. The manufacturer doesn't waste anything. Not a single moment. Not a single experience. Every experience, even the painful ones, even the ones you're ashamed of, even the ones you wish you could erase from your history, were allowed because they were developing something in you that your assignment would require. You think your story is a liability. No. Your story is your credibility. The woman who has never been broken cannot help broken women. She doesn't have the vocabulary. She doesn't have the empathy. She doesn't have the authority that comes from personal victory. The woman who has never been lost cannot guide lost women home because she doesn't know the path. She doesn't understand the confusion. She can't speak to the fear. Your past didn't decrease your value. It refined it. Gold doesn't apologize for being in the fire. The fire is what proved it was gold. Pressure doesn't destroy diamonds. Pressure creates them. Fifth lie. High value is about what I have. No, high value is about what you carry. See, the world measures value by accumulation. Kingdom measures value by assignment. The world says you're high value when you have the right clothes, the right car, the right house, the right bank account, the right social media following. But none of that is value. That's decoration. Real value is not in what you own. It's in what you were sent to do. There are women with empty bank accounts who are high value because they're solving problems nobody else can solve. There are women with modest wardrobes who are high value because they're raising the next generation of world changers. There are women with no titles who are high value because they're operating in their assignment. Stop measuring yourself by what you have. Start measuring yourself by what you're stewarding. Sixth lie. I can increase my value by copying other high value women. Comparison is the assassin of destiny. You were not created to be a version 2 of anyone. You were created to be version 1 of you. When you try to copy someone else's value expression, you're actually decreasing your own value because you're abandoning your unique design. The manufacturer didn't make duplicates. He made originals. Every woman who is operating in high value is doing so because she discovered her specific assignment, not because she copied someone else's. You have a problem to solve that nobody else can solve. You have a voice that nobody else has. You have a story that nobody else can tell. When you try to be someone else, you rob the world of you. And that's not humility. That's theft. Now, let me teach you some kingdom principles that will revolutionize how you see yourself and your assignment on this earth. First principle, the manufacturer principle. Never ask the product what it's for. Ask the manufacturer. When a car breaks down, you don't ask the car what's wrong. The car can't diagnose itself. You check the manual. You consult the one who designed it. You contact the manufacturer who has the specifications, who knows the intended function, who understands every component and its purpose. You are a product. You have a manufacturer. And he never creates without specific purpose, without intentional design, without predetermined value, without clear assignment. But see, most women are walking around asking other products to tell them what they're worth. That's like a Mercedes asking a bicycle to determine its value. It's absurd. It's illogical. It's a category error. You need to stop surveying people and start consulting your manufacturer's manual. Stop asking culture what you should be. Ask the creator what you were designed for. Second principle, the kingdom identity principle. You are not a peasant trying to become royalty. You are royalty trying to remember your original authority. This is critical. Listen carefully. The moment you were manufactured in the image of a king, you became royalty. This is not metaphor. This is not religious poetry. This is legal reality in the kingdom. Kings don't beg for their value to be recognized. They decree it. They don't ask permission to be valuable. They command respect through the authority of their identity. But you've been thinking like a slave trying to earn freedom when you were designed to reign. You've been thinking like a beggar trying to get attention when you were designed to be a queen. High-value women don't convince people of their worth. They simply carry themselves according to their manufacturer's specifications, and the right people automatically recognize what they're looking at. When a queen walks into a room, she doesn't announce herself. Her presence announces itself. Her authority is evident. Her value is unmistakable. Third principle, the purpose of a performance principle. Your worth is not in what you do. It's in what you were designed to be and what problem you were created to solve. Many women right now are climbing the ladder of success fast, checking all the boxes. Society says make you high value. The education degree, the career advancement, the physical appearance, the social status, the recognition, the following. But they're climbing a ladder, leaning against the wrong building. You can be successful in the world's eyes, but fail at your kingdom assignment. You can win the applause of people, but miss the approval of heaven. You can achieve everything culture celebrates, but forfeit everything eternity values. High value is not about performing for applause. It's about fulfilling your divine specification. There's a specific problem on this earth that only your unique design, your unique story, your unique gifting, your unique perspective can solve. When you're solving that problem, you're operating in high value, regardless of whether the world is watching, regardless of whether social media recognizes it, regardless of whether you ever get a trophy for it. Fourth principle, the seed principle. Everything God created is full but looks empty. A seed looks small, insignificant, ordinary. You could hold 1,000 of them in your hand. But hidden inside that seed is an entire forest, orchards, shade, fruit, oxygen, wildlife habitats, future generations of trees. All of that is contained in something that looks like nothing. You don't look like what you carry. Right now, people are judging you by your current appearance, your current circumstances, your current condition, your current address, your current relationship status, your current bank balance. But they don't see what the manufacturer buried inside you. They don't see the businesses, the books, the movements, the ministries, the solutions, the generations that are waiting in your seed form. High value women understand this principle. They don't need external validation because they know what they're carrying. They know they're pregnant with purpose, even if nobody else can see the baby yet. They know the forest is coming even while they're still holding the seed. Fifth principle, the original design principle. God doesn't see you as you are. He sees you as you were designed to be. Your current condition is not your original design. Maybe right now you're covered in the dust of past mistakes, current struggles, ongoing battles, unhealed wounds, unfulfilled dreams, but that dust doesn't change the material you're made of. If you take a diamond and throw it in mud, cover it in dirt, bury it in garbage, does it stop being a diamond? No. The mud is temporary. The diamond is permanent. The circumstances are temporary. The design is permanent. The manufacturer judges you by specifications, not by current performance. You are not a mistake trying to fix yourself. You are a masterpiece covered in dust. And high value is about brushing off what doesn't belong and revealing what was always there. It's about restoration, not transformation. It's about recovery, not creation. Sixth principle, the death to life principle. A seed must die to become a tree. You must die to who you were told to be, to become who you were designed to be. What looks like death is actually birth. What feels like loss is actually release. See, you've been holding on to versions of yourself that were never meant to be permanent. The people-pleasing version, the approval-seeking version, the performance-based version, the validation-addicted version. But those were seed forms. And if the seed refuses to die, it never becomes the tree. If the seed holds on to seed identity, it forfeits tree destiny. High-value women are willing to let go of low-value identities. They're willing to release who they were, pretending to be so they can become who they were created to be. The seed doesn't lose its life. It multiplies it. What looks like death is actually multiplication. Seventh principle, the graveyard warning. The wealthiest place on earth is not the bank, not the treasury, not Fort Knox, not Wall Street. It's the cemetery. The graveyard is full of women who died with books unwritten, businesses never started, ministries never launched, inventions never created, songs never sung, problems never solved, destinies never fulfilled. They died full. They took their seeds to the grave. They buried their assignments under tombstones. And I refuse to let that be your story. You have assignments inside you. The world is waiting for your solution, your voice, your unique contribution, your specific answer to a specific problem. High value is about dying EMT. It's about making sure that when you take your last breath, you've given earth everything heaven deposited in you. It's about reaching the finish line with nothing left in the tank. It's about exhausting your potential before you expire. Let me tell you about a woman I once met who demonstrates this perfectly. She was brilliant, educated, capable, polished. She had degrees from prestigious universities. She spoke multiple languages. She had a corporate job that paid 6 figures. Everyone around her saw success. Her family bragged about her. Her friends envied her position. But she felt empty. Why? Because she was paid for what she did, but it wasn't what she was made for. See, your job is what you're paid for. Your purpose is what you're made for. Don't confuse the two. One finances your life. The other fulfills your assignment. One day, she was driving past an underprivileged neighborhood and saw children playing in the street with no supervision, no resources, no hope in their eyes. And something broke inside her. She realized her assignment to create educational resources for underprivileged children who would never have access otherwise. She stepped away from the high salary, the corner office, the impressive title. She started with nothing but her purpose, her passion, and her faith. Within 5 years, she had impacted thousands of lives across 3 countries. That's when she became high value. Not when she had the impressive title, but when she stepped into her assignment. Not when people applauded, but when heaven approved. Consider the diamond when it's still in the earth, covered in rock and dirt, surrounded by ordinary stone. Most people walk right past it. They don't see the value. They see a rock. But the diamond doesn't need their recognition to be valuable. It was valuable the moment it was formed under pressure, under heat, under time. Then someone with knowledge, someone with vision, someone who understands what they're looking at, they recognize it, they extract it, they cut it, they polish it. And suddenly the world sees what was always there. You are that diamond. You've been valuable all along. You just needed the right perspective to see it. High-value women don't wait for the crowd to validate them. They wait for the one who has eyes to see what heaven deposited. They wait for someone with the capacity to recognize what the manufacturer installed. What if I told you that everything you've been through, every rejection, every disappointment, every closed door, every betrayal, every setback, every delay was actually preparation for your high-value assignment? What if the betrayals weren't meant to destroy you but to develop you? What if the delays weren't denial but design? What if the closed doors weren't punishment but protection? See, the manufacturer doesn't rush the process. A diamond takes thousands of years to form. Pressure and time create value. You've been under pressure, haven't you? You've been waiting, haven't you? That's not punishment. That's the manufacturing process. High value isn't created in comfort. It's forged in fire. It's shaped under pressure. It's refined through time. Stop. Before I continue, I need to interrupt your thinking. Let me ask you something, and I need you to be honest with yourself right now. How long are you going to let other people's opinions determine your value? How long are you going to measure yourself by standards that were never designed for your specific assignment? How long will you let the voice of culture drown out the voice of your manufacturer? How long will you perform for people who can't even see what you're carrying? If something is stirring in you right now, if you feel that restlessness, that dissatisfaction with settling, that anger at wasted years, that frustration with unfulfilled potential, that's not depression. That's your potential banging on the door of your consciousness screaming, "Let me out." The wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard. And if you're still listening to me, it's because you refuse to be buried there with your music still inside you. Something is shifting right now. Can you feel it? That's not emotion. That's activation. Now let me move you from understanding to doing. Because knowledge without action is just decorated ignorance. It's information without transformation. You can know everything I'm teaching you and still die full. So we're moving from hearing to doing. You cannot change what you tolerate. You cannot fix what you deny. The first step is waking up to this truth. Where you are is not where you belong. If you're living below your manufacturer's specifications, if you're tolerating relationships that diminish your design, if you're accepting circumstances that contradict your calling, if you're settling for survival when you were designed for dominion, wake up. This is not your destination. This is a layover. High-value women don't build permanent homes in temporary places. They don't get comfortable in the wilderness when they were designed for the promised land. Second stage, remember. You're not trying to become something new. You're trying to remember something original. Stop building an identity from scratch. Stop trying to create yourself. Start recovering your manufacturer's design. Go back to what made you come alive before the world told you what to be. Go back to the dreams you had before people said they were impossible. Go back to the desires heaven planted before religion said they were selfish. Go back to the passions you felt before culture said they weren't practical. That is your original design trying to speak to you. That's the manufacturer's specifications trying to emerge through the noise. Third stage, decide. Potential without decision is just cemetery material. What separates the graveyard from destiny is one thing, decision. Will you die full or die empty? Will you spend the rest of your life performing for people who don't even know their own purpose? Or will you step into your assignment? This is not about feeling ready. This is about being willing. Moses didn't feel ready. Esther didn't feel ready. Mary didn't feel ready. But they were willing. Decide today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when conditions are perfect. The graveyard is full of, I'll do it when I'm ready. Graveyards are full of, I'll do it when I have more money. Graveyards are full of, I'll do it when people support me. Decide. Make the decision. Take the step. Cross the line. Fourth stage, act. Find your assignment. Identify the problem you were born to solve. What breaks your heart? What makes you angry? What injustice do you see that others ignore? What gap do you notice that nobody's filling? What need keeps showing up in your path? That is your clue. Your assignment is hidden in your passion. Your purpose is buried in what provokes you. Then get up and do something about it. Start the business, write the book, launch the ministry, mentor the girl, build the organization, create the solution. Don't die with your seed still inside you. High-value women don't just think about purpose. They execute it. They don't just dream about impact. They create it. You were not born to survive. You were not born to fit in. You were not born to be comfortable. You were not born to be safe. You were born to solve a problem. You were born to answer a question. You were born to fill a gap that only your unique design can fill. Stop asking, can I? Start declaring, I must. Stop saying, maybe someday. Start saying, starting today. Stop waiting for permission from people who don't have the authority to grant it. Stop waiting for conditions to be perfect. Start with what you have. Start where you are. Start right now. Perfect conditions are a myth. Perfect timing is a trap. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now. Listen to me. I'm not speaking to who you are. I'm speaking to who you're becoming. I see it. Heaven sees it. Angels are watching. Destiny is waiting. The only one who doesn't see it yet is you. But something is shifting right now. You thought you were damaged goods? Wrong. You're refined gold. You believed you missed your chance? Wrong. Your season is now. You assumed you weren't qualified? Wrong. The manufacturer doesn't make mistakes. You thought you were too old? Wrong. Age is irrelevant to assignment. You thought you were too young? Wrong. Age is irrelevant to purpose. Your birth was not an accident. It was strategic, calculated, deliberate. Heaven had a problem that only your unique design, your unique story, your unique voice, your unique perspective, your unique combination of gifts could solve. That's why you're different. That's why you never fit. That's why normal never satisfied you. That's why average always felt like prison. You weren't designed for average. You were designed for assignment. You were manufactured for significance. You were designed for impact. You were created for legacy. You were built for influence. And I prophesy to you today, the graveyard will not have your potential. Your seeds will not die with you. That business idea will not stay buried. That book will not remain unwritten. That ministry will not stay unborn. That solution will not go undiscovered. That generation will not go untouched. That problem will not go unsolved. This is your hour. This is your moment. This is your season. What you've been carrying, it's time to birth it. What you've been hiding, it's time to release it. What you've been protecting, it's time to deploy it. What you've been waiting for, stop waiting. You have permission, you have authority, you have assignment. The manufacturer already said yes. Heaven already stamped approved on your purpose before you were born. Stop waiting for people to validate what heaven already authorized. The world is not waiting for you to be perfect. The world is waiting for you to be obedient to your design. Now go and solve the problem you were born to answer. Go and fill the gap only you can fill. Go and become the high-value woman you were created to be, not by performing for approval, but by revealing what heaven already deposited. Not by competing for recognition, but by operating in your assignment. So what do you do now? Let me give you 4 clear instructions. Number 1, identify your assignment. What specific problem were you designed to solve? What specific gap are you meant to fill? What specific voice are you meant to be? Don't just think about it, write it down, be specific. The manufacturer gave you a specific purpose. Stop wandering in vagueness. Find it and name it. Define it, declare it. When you can name your assignment, you can pursue it with precision. Number 2, stop waiting for permission. You already have it. The day you were born, heaven authorized your assignment. The moment the manufacturer created you, he approved your purpose. Nobody on earth has the authority to revoke what heaven already approved. High-value women don't ask permission from people. They step into purpose with heaven's authorization. They don't need a committee's approval. They have the Creator's endorsement. Number 3, Die to low-value identities. Let go of who you were pretending to be. Release the people-pleasing version. Release the approval-seeking version. Release the performance-based version. Release the validation-addicted version. Those were seed forms. It's time to become the tree. Embrace the death that leads to life. Embrace the discomfort that leads to destiny. Embrace the letting go that leads to multiplication. Number 4, start today, not tomorrow, not next month, not when you feel ready, not when you have more money, not when people support you, not when conditions are perfect. The graveyard is full of "I'll do it later." The cemetery is packed with "I'll do it when." Start with what you have. Start where you are. Start now. You were not born to be a copy. You were born to be an original. And the world is waiting for what only you carry. Die empty. Leave nothing buried. Give earth everything heaven put inside you. High value is not about becoming. It's about revealing. It's not about earning. It's about remembering. It's not about performance. It's about purpose. If this message awakens something in you, share it with another woman still sleeping on her potential. And if you want more kingdom teaching that activates your purpose, subscribe. Your assignment isn't complete. It's just beginning. The best is not behind you. It's in you. And it's time to let it out